Can generative AI be your personal counselor and learning buddy? Well, definitely, I think it can, as I've been using it like this for the past few months or so. And I've also looked it up and seen that a lot of other people, even counselors and therapists themselves, have checked this out. And of course, ChatGPT and other generative AI programs have been advancing at a crazy rate. So in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the ways that I've personally used ChatGPT as a counselor and a thinking buddy, and some of the steps I've taken and some of the prompts I've used to use this as a tool for thinking, learning, and dealing with like the stresses of life, emotional aspects, and planning, so that I can run my life in a more effective and efficient way. So there's a lot of great tips here. Definitely do check them out. I've got the chapters down below so you can scroll through any of the chapters that seem more interesting to you, or if it's not catching your attention right away, you can just feel free and move on to the next chapter. No problem with that, or skip around, or anything that your heart desires. So let's get into this video. So of course, everyone's been kind of playing around with ChatGPT a lot, and I originally got this idea for using ChatGPT as kind of a counselor and thinking buddy from a book called Co-Intelligence by Ethan Mollick, and also Brave New Words by Salman Khan. And as I was going through these books, I was like, oh yeah, this is actually a great idea. Okay, let me start experimenting with this to see how it works. And when I first got on there, I asked ChatGPT to act as if it were a famous counselor or therapist or psychologist, and it ended up giving me a few options, and I was like, okay, let's go with Viktor Frankl, because I really loved his book and I loved his approach on thinking and feeling and taking action in life. So this was the original idea behind me experimenting with this, and it's been very beneficial so far. So when you get into ChatGPT, if you want to experiment with this, I highly recommend asking ChatGPT to pretend like it's a counselor or a psychologist. If you don't know any particular psychologists, famous ones, then you can just ask it to be a general one. Just, act as my counselor or my thinking buddy and give me suggestions on how I can approach this situation. Or right now I'm feeling a bit crappy because whatever it may be. I'm feeling a bit crappy, so hey, can you please help me out with this? Give me some suggestions, some action steps, and also to ask you follow-up questions, because that's what counselors do, or therapists. They ask you questions. Whenever you say something, they ask another question, and then you answer that, and then they ask another question, and then sometimes periodically they give you suggestions here and there. With those questions, that will allow you to open up a little bit more, and maybe this program is going to ask you questions that you never thought of before. And that's the amazing thing, because then you're on a roll and you start generating more ideas. You can use it as an idea generator. You can use it as a counselor to sort through your emotions, because we all experience crappy times in our lives or exciting times, and we can celebrate those wins through chatting with this program that will give you great advice. Some of it of which maybe you're not going to take, some of it of which it may not be all that great for you, but you can be the one that decides, okay, what are you going to do with this information? And you get more ideas from the questions this program asks you, and you can just dig deeper. It's such an amazing tool. Does this tool replace one-on-one interaction with real people? No, it definitely doesn't. At least not at the moment. And for some people, yes, it might, but there's nothing that beats face-to-face interaction with real people, because they totally understand. Sometimes, hopefully, counselors and therapists are professionals, so they totally understand, and they've got the experience, one-on-one experience with real people, unlike ChatGPT. It's just pulling information. I feel that I can open up, sometimes even more than with a real person. I have no barriers that are blocking me from expressing my ideas. And sometimes I'll approach my counseling sessions, as I call them, with ChatGPT, I'll approach it with like speaking into my microphone and letting my voice to text type out my feelings and thoughts and desires and things that I want to accomplish. And then other times I will type it out with my hand or on my phone. I can carry my device anywhere I want and then get responses immediately. There's no time barrier between you and this application. Whereas with a counselor, a therapist, or psychologist, you have to schedule an appointment, you have to go there, you have to take the time. Sometimes they do have video call available, but still you have to schedule that. But this is available at all times, which is the amazing thing. So you have choices. You can type it out, you can do voice to text, or ChatGPT has the option of doing the voice to voice. You can have the conversation with ChatGPT, which sometimes I do as well because I want to hear the responding to my voice, having a conversation. Even though it's not a person, I can hear the voice and it makes me feel more connected to what is being said. And then there's a transcript afterwards, so I can reread the conversation I just had and go over, take notes, and expand and implement, apply what suggestions I want to apply in my life. I feel so passionate about this topic because it has made me become more organized up here. Before, I was just journaling. Now I almost treat this as a digital journal where I can express my thoughts, sort through them, and then take the necessary actions to go forward on them. It's such an amazing feeling. You can also use this tool as a motivator. I personally use it almost every day as a motivator to kind of schedule out my day. Now, of course, I could write this out in a planner, but I feel that it's more time effective because, well, I can do it anywhere, anytime. I don't need a pen or paper. I don't need to type it out with my fingers or write it out. I can just speak it into my phone, and then ChatGPT will come up with a organized step-by-step plan of what I need to do that day. And sometimes if I feel unmotivated, I can just say, hey, right now I'm feeling kind of crappy and I know that I have these things to do. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 today, and I want to try to get these things done, but I feel stressed and I feel overwhelmed. Can you please give me some suggestions on how to take this on and try to get done as much as I possibly can? And the responses are quite amazing because it gives you the time blocks. You can then edit it if needed, but you can stick to that schedule as closely as you possibly can in order to get those things done. And then of course, it's encouraging to you. The responses are encouraging and they're saying you can do this, and sometimes you need those uplifting responses. And of course you can always ask it to change its tone of voice and be, hey, can you be a bit more like critical and a bit more harsh with your feedback? And then it will give you more constructive feedback. So it just depends on what you need, and you can ask it to change its voice and then follow through with that schedule. And yeah, it's quite amazing. You can accomplish a whole lot more if you've got this thinking buddy to kind of team up with you and get those things done that you need to get done during the day. And I've got one more personal anecdote here for you. I've also used this to kind of sort through my feelings with the relationships that I have in my life, like for example with my wife or my daughter. And then I noticed some problems happening with my daughter emotionally, so I kind of use this tool to get some suggestions on how to deal with the situation and to help my daughter out, and also to understand maybe my wife a bit better through some explanations and suggestions on how to approach the situation to kind of help it to become better. And also I've noticed a huge increase in my ability to communicate with other people, not just my wife or daughter, but my coworkers, my friends, because I've been talking with ChatGPT to get suggestions and then apply what I thought was relevant. All right, so do you think this would be a good idea for you to try out? If you just need someone to talk to. I emphasize someone because, well, ChatGPT isn't really someone. But if you need someone to talk to, hey, you've got someone in your pocket you can talk to at any time during the day or night. Ask for suggestions, sort through your ideas, help you make a plan, and then go from there. In this video, we've talked a lot about the different ways that you can use this tool to help you generate ideas, to help you sort through your emotions, and to help you plan out your day and get what you need to get done, because sometimes you just feel like you're unmotivated, and sometimes you need a pick-me-up, and sometimes you need you've got the perfect partner to at least give you the boost that you've been looking for. Use this as a learning tool, use it as a productivity tool, use it as a way to help guide you through your life so that you can live a better life and learn many things and produce many things. Be creative and be happier in everything that you do, your relationships, your work, your school, wherever you may be. This tool is definitely a life changer, and it's going to help you out a great deal. So let me know if you're going to try this in the comments, and please do share it with a friend. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.